can't say they said whoever, whether it is Nyesum Wike late or Tanimu Turaki late, it most is like a rat race. It at the end, a rat will emerge, meaning that all they are members of the PDP and they are there in the PDP register. So for the Kaduna South Senatorial District, yes, the PDP has had their own. We have Honorable Joseph Gumbari, a former two-time House Rep member. He emerged the flag bearer of the PDP for the Senate. This is what I can say for now.
For the Senate?
Yes.
Okay.
So, of course, the House of Rep
just one person?
Sorry,
just one person emerged for the PDP?
Yes, of course. Now, for the Senate, that's what I know for Zone 1.
But you don't know for the other zones?
I don't know of Zone 2 and Zone 3.
All right.
And, of course, like we said, the primary election have been marred in crisis, some chaotic and all that. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the APC said this is the most sought after primary election that since the return of democracy in 1999, the APC is the most sought after party.
Is the bride.
Yes.
Right now, let me come
no
to
wonder
Honorable.
It will not be surprised that you have crises or some have one grievances or the other.
We need to come to Honorable right now. Time is not on our side, and I know the Honorable actually has several meetings waiting for him. So, Honorable, I'm going to start by just asking about this consensus or selection process. What's really going on? Because if we are to go by dictionary definitions, consensus means that the party elite come together and think about what best suits the party, and they together choose a candidate. But in this instance, we're beginning to hear selections taking place by the executive, whether we're talking about the president himself or state governors who are making these decisions single-handedly. So what's really going on with the APC?
Well, talking about the current situation, the Electoral Act 2022, Section 84, stipulates how primaries should be conducted. And then when you talk about that, it allows for direct primaries, indirect primaries, and consensus. But with the recent amendment in APC now,
right?
That is now, I just quoted the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But then in the APC,
yes,
our own Constitution has adopted either the consensus or direct primaries. Now, like you rightly said, the consensus is where the stakeholders come together and select a viable candidate, a candidate that has what it takes: grassroots mobilization,
right,
acceptability, flawless, not perfect, but then flawless, and easy. A candidate can easily be sold to the electorates,
right,
to choose. So those are the kind of people that should be considered for consensus. People that make the elections very easy for the party
to win.
And then on the other hand, direct primaries, which should be the best form or mode of selection. Why? Because the candidate, you're taking him before the general public. And then if he can have a good acceptability, a good numbers within the party, shows he is a popular candidate. So direct primaries is supposed to be the best way of selecting a candidate for the party. So, but unfortunately, we want to try direct primaries for a very long time, and then now we got the opportunity. But what has happened has become very embarrassing, and then it leaves a lot to worry about, doubt about. And that we are getting prepared. This is just the first stage. Like Article 20 in our Constitution stipulates the procedures, nomination procedures, and internal democracy. And then, like I said, even where there's a consensus, the other aspirants have to still sign that they have accepted and have stepped down for this person. And where they don't agree, if there's even one person that refuses, where there are 10 people 8 step down for one person, and then 1 rejects. That means they have to go for direct primaries. So that is the situation. Yes, for example, in Kaduna Central Senatorial District, one of the contestants, talking about, I think his name is Yerima Shetima.
Yes.
He stepped down from the race, leaving 2 candidates, Senator Shehu Hussaini and Right Honorable Yusuf Ibrahim Zelani, who is the Speaker of the 9th Assembly, in the race. And there has been no consensus. We went to the ballots hoping for electoral materials and hoping for staff to conduct the elections. But you hear different stories from different parts of the state, the zone. Because, like, for example, in KAJURU local government, we heard that as early as 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. in the morning, some places, some people were being picked, and then they came and casted in some places, like Kufana, Ward, and some other. And then in most places, there was no election. In fact, I'm the returning officer for Right Honorable Yusuf Zelani's campaign in KAJURU local government for the primaries. And I happen to be the deputy director of his campaign in the senatorial district. And then I heard that there was election primaries was being conducted somewhere, a funny place. It was in a farm in Kasumagani. We have videos, pictures of the activity. I rushed there. On going there, I saw the council chairman and the member House of Assembly, sitting member who come from PDP to APC. When they saw my car, they left the venue, which means something funny was happening. It leaves a lot to doubt. It leaves a lot to be worried about. I'm a staunch APC member. I know the bullets I took for APC. We struggled. We brought APC to the limelight. It was a lot we faced with the people. But today, they've gotten the acceptance. Should we just sit down and watch what we've built being destroyed by some interest? There was no consensus in the senatorial election. And then, even the direct primaries was not conducted. I was there in the party secretariat from morning after 6 o'clock till the time they came that they were going to make announcements. And I can perfectly tell you that was around 3, after 3.
Okay.
Before 4.
This afternoon.
Yeah, in the afternoon. Yeah, that day. So I can tell you,
That was on 18th.
18th, yes, 18th.
Monday.
Monday,
Yes.
18th, yes. I can rightly tell you, while there, I was seated next to the electoral boxes that were used to conduct that of the House of Reps. They were there by my side. I took pictures, I took videos of them. It's already, we put it online. It's all there. So what box was used to conduct these elections, these primaries?
You have pictures of the boxes
Yes,
that were supposed to have been used,
yes,
but nothing happened.
They were there all through the day.
And yet we have results.
So people just came, they want to make an announcement, accompanied by security, and everywhere was locked down. And I stood up, I told them no election was held. How can you have a winner where election was not carried out? A winner cannot emerge where there has been no election. This is very important for us as the APC. We are supposed to set precedents. They are supposed to set the pace for others to follow. We're supposed to promote democracy. And then if this is allowed to happen, it leaves a lot to be afraid of in the general election. Already, we have a big battle. The ADC is coming strongly.
And so is the NDC.
And then, yes, the White Horse, the NDC, where people are not seeing. I can authoritatively tell you that in most wards, I've seen people in small, units organizing meetings for the NDC. And I fear what is about to come. So we have to get our acts together. And that is why we want the right thing to be done. We want a kind of unity. We can't go to the polls divided. Because whether you like it or not, when nothing happens and then you announce winners, there are people that will be disgruntled. They will be very aggrieved people. And these aggrieved people, how do you take them to the polls? Or what do you want to tell them to make them and appease them for that wrong that has been done to them? So this is where I stand, and this is where I see dangers ahead of us.
Indeed,
Yeah,
Honorable. We need to go on a commercial break. If you're just joining us this evening, with us is Honorable Dr. CAFRA KAINO, and we'll be right back. We're looking at the fallout from the APC primaries and the impact on the 2027 general elections. You're listening to Spot On Invicta 98.9 FM. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Are you serious? For real, are you serious? Invicta FM.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up? That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Across Nigeria, MTN Foundation has impacted 600 plus communities with the What Can We Do Together initiative, inspiring a world where no community is left behind with better healthcare and science lab facilities. Nominate a primary healthcare center and a public secondary school for upgrade today. Visit www.mtn.ng/WCWDT or text MTN to 421. Nominations close June 8, 2026.
Kai, Lami, yau na yi kewar girkin ki sosai.
Me gida. Ni ma na yi kewar naka. Ka tuna lokacin da nake da ciki kai ne kake dafa mana abinci?
Shi yasa nake son ki sake, don na ci gaba da miki girki.
A'a, jikina na buƙatar hutu. Akalla shekaru 3.
3 kuma, ai wata 6 makin murmure.
To ka fara, zan sauko zuwa shekaru 2 da wata 6.
Mu dai ce shekaru 2.
Amma ka tabbata ka cika alƙawari fa.
To shikenan na amince. Tattaunawa tsakanin ma'aurata yana da muhimmanci. Mu tattauna. Jolly Johnny akan titi ke magana. A yau za mu ga kyakkyawar sani da mutane suka yi wa Maggi Chicken Flavor. Na gaba, karanto harufan celery.
SEALARRIE. Celery.
Haba mutumina, ka ce kawai ka sauya harufan zuwa salary. To ga damar ƙarshe, karanto mana harufan turmeric.
TURMERIC. Turmeric.
Kin yi daidai, ga kwali ɗaya na Maggi Chicken Flavor ki ɗauka.
Maggi Chicken Flavor tare da albasa, celery da kuma turmeric mai canza wasa na.
All right, welcome back from that commercial timeout. Still on the program, Spot On. And still with us in the studio is Honorable Dr. CAFRA KAINO. Right, so before we went on that break...
Yes, I was to ask a question.
Yes.
The question I was to ask is about the primary. CAFRA talk about procedure and everything, even the ballot box and everything. Now, talking about the voting, this is direct primary. What is the procedure from the party, the guideline for the conduct of primary election? Is it through delegate, or is it through the people who come? Is it the whole number, registered number of the people in every ward or in every polling unit? They will assemble at the polling unit or what? And then, in the course of my monitoring the election, we have some we are shut out because they didn't have membership. They were not financial members of the party. And again, some in terms of the issue of screen, some people were screened out. Those who bought form to contest for one position or the other, your form has to be signed by stakeholders. And then some people, they could not scale through the screen because those who signed their form were not financial members of the party. So CAFRA, you are here, you are this party, if you are part and parcel of those who, build this party from foundation, as you talk from the beginning at the onset. So please put us through, and the listener want to know the guideline for this conduct of the election.
Well,
who is eligible to vote?
Yeah. First of all, like I said earlier, we adopted the direct primaries,
yes,
and then the consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Direct primaries and consensus, and then I talked about how you arrive at this. Who is eligible to vote? There came the issue of financial members of the party. But a circular was released, which I saw. I have a copy. I have a copy in my phone.
Okay.
A circular was released that has been set aside. And any fully, duly registered party member that has a registration number and then his party slip can vote in the primaries. That is what was adopted. So I'm shocked you said some places you saw people that were etched out because they were not financial members. Where? Because elections didn't even hold. So where did you see people that were etched out? I don't know if you get. The election didn't hold. It didn't hold. For example, let me go down to something. In the final results that were announced, you would hear that Right Honorable Yusuf Zailani got 1,200 and something votes. Let me be very, very precise. 1,021 votes. While I can show you a video in a single ward in Rigasa, where people that came out to vote massively, we had over 4,000 people.
In Rigasa alone?
Yes. You know, it's a ward. Well,
right.
Like you said, the center for voting is the party office in the ward.
Right.
It's been conducted ward by
ward.
Right? So you go to the party office in the ward
and
conduct your election.
Yes.
Then results will be brought into the local government party office and collated there. So people were there. We have videos of almost all the wards. People were there. There were no election officers. There were no election materials. There was nobody. And in fact, let me even ask you another question. Was INEC there to supervise all this election? INEC was not there. Because in KAJURU local government, I was seated there. The INEC officer came. I was interviewing people and I was asking questions. Because the election did not hold. So, and then the constitution already provides, I can't remember the section particularly, but if INEC does not come, I think it's section 85. That is subsection something, 85. If INEC does not come and supervise your primaries, it makes it null and void. That is the dangers we see. Right now, it's easy to say this is the candidate as a match. It's easy to say. But when litigation starts, and some people will argue that, okay, now you can't sue your party. No, that is not the case. If you go and check the constitution, when you talk about suing your case, there is the pre-election matters, and then there is the first stage. The first phase is the preparations. That is where you cannot sue your party, where you purchase form, nomination form, and then your party can screen you out, just like you try to explain. The party has the power to screen you out. For one reason or the other.
Okay.
And then once it screens you out, that is where you don't have the power to sue. But anything beyond that stage, you have the right
to actually sue
address
your
your grievances in the court of law, in the high court. You have 14 days after the primaries to go to court and seek redress on this matter. That's why we did a press release. We said it should be looked into before we can further decide what to do. But we have a team of legal practitioners already looking into our matter. I've been getting briefing almost every hour on updates and things we should do. But party center, in fact, the returning officers that were supposed to be used to conduct the election, most of them were there seated with me in the party headquarters in the local government. They were waiting for election materials. Some of them were there and they heard that election has held in their wards. So who returned the election? Who conducted the election? When the returning officer that the state has assigned is with me, I have videos. I don't know how this can be defended. I don't know. We don't want to go to court. We don't want to go and sue. We want to address this internally.
Honorable, it's been over 24 hours since this has happened. Because, I mean, this happened on Monday, on the 18th.
Yes,
it's over 24 hours.
Yeah,
about 72. I mean, that's why I just said over 24. Has there been any word from INEC? And has there been any word from the executive? Because the executive, for instance, in Kaduna State, is actually like the party, the what's the word I'm looking? Not the chairman now, but the head of the party. Have we had any pronouncements from the executive in Kaduna regarding these irregularities that you're talking about? And INEC as our the governing body of all political parties who did not show up on that day according to what you say, have they said anything? Has there been any press release regarding this irregularity.
Maybe I mixed the question too with this question to do the balancing act. Have we had anything from INEC to say INEC did not monitor the primary election? Because, for example, like the PDP Amala convention in Ibadan, INEC said it was clear. INEC said it didn't monitor the election. Is that not? So it was clear. So have we had INEC said they didn't monitor the primary?
Well, for now, there's been no press release from INEC to say they monitored or they didn't.
Yes.
But I gave you my own factual narration of what happened on ground.
Yes.
But that is by the way.
Yeah, you spoke empirically.
Yes,
but
that is for now. INEC cannot come out and say it did supervised or not at this moment. And then, in fact, before INEC can say anything, someone has to ask the question.
Right.
And we also haven't asked the question because there's no question to ask. We already know what's happening. When it gets to that level, we'll ask the questions, and then they will give us the answer. So if they say they supervised, we'll give them proofs that they didn't. And if they say they didn't, fine, we'll go and take the next step. So for now, nobody has asked the question. That is why they are not saying anything.
I mean, but if you have these pictures up on social media, I'm sure these things have been flying around. We have seen them. Ordinary people have seen them. We've seen some of these pictures. We've heard some of the complaints from some of those aspirants about the irregularities, not just from you. And I believe that in the same vein, INEC must have heard that there's doubt being cast on their, the stance of being unbiased in situations like this. And one would expect that INEC should have come out to say that, I mean, this is what happened, or this is what didn't happen, or it's completely untrue what we're hearing. And so I'm surprised that they haven't come out really.
Jackie, like he said, until somebody asks a question.
Yes.
Because INEC is not partisan in this.
Exactly.
So until somebody asks the question.
I was going to be very fair to the party, my party, All Progressive Congress. If INEC comes out to make that kind of publication at this moment, it means she's interfering with our own internal process.
Yes.
Okay.
So until we get to that point where we need INEC to tell us what happened, INEC will say something. But at this moment, we're still trying within the House to resolve the issue within the House. And I trust the state party chairman, who is a gentleman and very to do the needful. I trust His Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, Ubasani, to also look into this matter and give the mandate. Because we are thinking people with grassroots mobilization, people that are acceptable, people that have the acceptance and we think are viable and can really clinch the ticket for us. We're very concerned about the election of the president. If we don't get the right man for the seat, we might end up losing. We lost in 2023. Bola Ahmed Tinubu didn't win Kaduna State. We don't want to repeat the same mistake because we've gotten a lot of appointments. We've gotten a lot of consideration for Kaduna State. So we don't want to go back. We don't want to disappoint the president. And we have to do everything within our own means to ensure that we have the right candidate, the credible candidate, the most acceptable candidate to clinch the ticket. And that's where we are.
That's why I weighed that. Let me ask this question. Looking at the mode of primaries, we witnessed delegate election in the past. Now this is consensus and direct primaries. So you've been in the field. Your assessment about this mode of primary, what's your assessment? The three, and which one will you say looks more easy to manage and all that? The three mode of primary.
Well, the ones I know, the ones I think it's easy to manage is the consensus. The consensus is the most easiest. Should be the most easiest. I'm saying should be
properly handled.
Yes, let me tell you some of the things I see from the consensus why people don't even trust because where there is interest, no matter what you bring to the table, no matter how credible you are, where there is interest, you will be trashed, you'll be edged out. So that is where consensus becomes very difficult. And then for some, after buying a form for 10 million for House of Reps or 20 million for Senate or 6 million for House of Assembly, you would expect that at the end of the day, after a consensus has been reached, some people will be compensated. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. Your money is gone. And that is all. And that's why some people, after spending such kind of money, they want to go to the polls. I want to know I lost in the polls because I know after this, I won't be compensated. So I want to go to the polls. Let me not lose at the polls.
Yes,
lost at the
I
polls.
observed that in the course of this primary election by the party, particularly, of course, just like the national chairman of the party, Nentawe, said this is the most sought after party.
Political party.
Yes, since the return of democracy in 1999. Now, in some states, some bought the forms and they were allowed to buy the form. The advert were made and they bought the form. And when they took the form, they were informed that consensus have already been reached. So if we are reaching on consensus, why did they allow the people to go and buy the form and spend that kind of humongous amount of money?
These are some of the lapses we're complaining about.
Like in Nasarawa, for example, people are already on ground to contest the election, but they heard that the governor have already picked Senator Wadada.
Yes.
And then, at the end, the politics
In fact,
was
if
hit up.
you say had that,
They have
he publicly announced
Yes.
his candidates even before the primary, before sales of form.
Yes.
He publicly announced the person to take over from him. Are we doing a monarchical system now?
But the only place I saw that consensus emerge and work well is in Ogun State, where the person was, agreed by all the stakeholders, and he emerged a sitting senator.
I am even completely confused about the Hope Uzodinma situation, because I am wondering, is he going to abdicate his seat as a governor to go to the Senate? Is that what is going to happen? Because he's a sitting governor right now.
For backgrounder to the listener, Hope Uzodinma is in second term and his second term was supposed to end by January 2028. And he has already picked the Senate ticket for 2027 election. So if his tenure is still valid till 2028 January 15. So what will happen? Is he going to resign? CAFRA.
Well, Hope Uzodinma, the law allows him to contest even while he's still the governor of Imo State.
Yes.
So after contest, if he eventually wins the Senate seat,
sorry, please, are we talking about Nigeria's law or the party's law?
No, Nigeria's law.
Nigeria's law.
As a sitting governor,
yes, you are elected.
Who still has about a year, and
yes, you are elected.
Yes,
you are an elected person.
He has that right.
If you are an appointee, then of course you have to resign.
Yes,
but you are an elected person. Yes, the laws allow.
The legislature,
the
executives, they have that power. That's why the president, right now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria.
Yes.
But he's contesting for a second tenure.
Just like other members, House of Assembly,
House
of Reps, governors.
But he doesn't have to contend with an off-cycle election.
No.
Hope Uzodinma his tenure does not end in 2027 when we go for the general elections. His own tenure is coming to an end a year later.
Yes.
So in the time that if he wins,
yes,
I mean he's picked the ticket.
Yes. If he wins the general
election, if he does win the elections, what will happen?
When if he eventually wins the election, he's going to forgo the seat of the governor,
yes,
and then go to the Senate, and then his deputy now will succeed him, as the governor,
and then he will
appoint a new
deputy
governor.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. So at least that
most
one
definitely
is clear.
He cannot be a governor and a senator at the same time.
That was what I was thinking, because we have just.
I think
we have
maybe
he
feels he has better services to give to the people of Imo in the Senate. Maybe that's why he wants to leave the seat of the governor and go and serve the people.
You speak like he'd never been in the Senate before.
Like,
Jackie. The politician.
That's where he's coming from, isn't it?
Jackie,
he's been there. He's done his two
the
terms,
politician,
and now he's going back. There's a problem with, just to say. I mean, yes. I don't really need you to comment on this, but Nigerians are concerned about what the Senate, or even the National Assembly, really has become, but particularly the Senate. It's troubling because it just seems to be a rotation of the same people over and over and over again. And a lot of young Nigerians are asking about when they're going to get their turn to actually go and serve the people in the Senate. Is it ever going to happen except for an act of God? These are questions that I've heard from, young people out there. Yeah, but Ango, you were saying.
Yeah, before you, sorry,
Yeah,
when you
just
talk
go
about
ahead.
young people being the National Assembly, we have young people, the likes of Bello Erufai, and then there's JJ from Akwanga Federal Constituency. He's also a young man. We're in ABU together. We have lots of, even
But you see more of that in the Federal House of Reps.
Bagudu.
Federal House of Reps
40.
has young people.
Yes.
The Senate does not have as much.
Well, that's why in Hausa they call it Gidan Dattawa or something like that.
Yeah,
Ango will help me with that.
The elderly.
The elderly,
yes.
yeah. So Senate is for the elderly,
Yes.
But there are young people in the Senate too. Elisha Abu was a young man who served as a senator.
Yes,
so there are some of them, yes.
He could not return.
Yeah, I can't really.
He couldn't return.
Yes, what I was trying to say is the politician, they are in power. They want to sustain themselves in power and remain there. And that's why you have the crisis between Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, now the FCT minister, and his godson, Simi Fubara. Now, it's just like they've cooked the food, they are eating the food, but they are already preparing again for the next
meal.
For the next meal. While they are eating, they are preparing for the next meal. So, and that's why they will not allow this one to. They do not allow to finish eating this one. If not, something could happen, and they will not have the next meal.
So
and that's why Hope Uzoduma.
Yes.
He is the sitting governor now. His tenure will end by January 15, 2028. But he's already preparing to be in the Senate.
There won't be any elections.
So that there won't be any gap.
If he doesn't contest now, he will have to wait
a
certain time.
Yes, if he doesn't contest now, so by 2018, when he will be he will leave the office, he has to wait until 2031.
That's about 3 years.
So he cannot afford to wait to keep that gap.
Yeah, so we come back to what a lot of young people.
It's your own thoughts. It's just your own thoughts.
It's speculative,
No, this is how the politicians do.
This is what the picture is.
When they are eating now, they are preparing the next meal. They are not allowed any gap.
But it comes back to, is it ever about the people, or has this become just business for a certain group of people for whatever time God allocates to them to live on the face of the earth? Because from what we can see, I mean, we will wait to see what comes out of the NDC and ADC and LP and PDP.
Yes,
primaries.
talking about ADC,
See.
The primaries are taking place between tomorrow and next tomorrow. I'm preparing to put a call to Honorable Godfrey, a former two-time House of Rep member for Zango Kata Jaba Federal Constituency. He is contesting for the ADC ticket for the Kaduna South Senatorial District. So he will give us update in the course of this discussion.
Before we go to the phone lines, yes. Honorable, we're going to go for a short break, and then when we get back, we'll go to the phone lines. I need to ask, in all of this where even the men are scrambling around, what is the lot of the women of the APC? During the tenure of our former governor in the person of Nasser Ahmed El-Rufai, I mean, women were pushed forward, women were encouraged to go get the forms and all of that. But in this dispensation, I haven't really heard much about what the lot of the woman is in the APC as regards these elective positions come 2027. So maybe you open my eyes to some of that. But also, quickly, just to draw your attention back to something you said, I mean, you just lauded the executive governor and the party chairman as people who you know would do the right thing. So I just want to quickly ask, who is supposed to have conducted the elections? Which body within the party is responsible for ensuring that elections like this, the primaries, intra-party elections like the primaries that just took place, actually happened seamlessly? Who is responsible?
Well, actually, there's a committee, the election committee. Nationally, it's headed by Bello Masari, former speaker. He's chairing that committee, and then people have been assigned to different states to execute the conduct of the primaries.
Regardless of if they're in the state or not?
No, they are coming from the headquarters.
Okay.
Abuja.
Okay.
Sent to different states.
Okay.
And these are party people too. So, but in the course of it, some people that might have some influence and interest may want to subvert justice and try to do one or two funny things just to ensure that their own interest is being catered for and their interest is being presented as the sole candidate or however. So right now I can't sit down and tell you this is the person responsible for whatever is happening, but we're investigating to know where this. But in fact, I can rightly say it has gotten to a point. Even before the primaries, we had rumors of what was being planned. In fact, I can rightly tell you there are places we've had some kind of concocted results even before the primaries, the day of the primaries,
took place.
That night before, yes, we had concocted results, and those results on that day came out just as we had, just as the rumor stated. They came out exactly. So, which means somebody sat down and planned these things even before, and they just came and executed. We have these proofs, and then we're going to look into it. We don't know who is doing this, but whoever it is, we're investigating, and we get to the bottom of it to be part of what will be presented.
What about women?
So, and then about women, I think the party has done a lot. In fact, first step is making a discount for the women, 50% discount. So
for the forms?
Yes, for the forms, nomination forms. I remember in Adama, my friend is contesting a senatorial seat in Adama Central, and part of his counterpart, people contesting, opponents, are 2 women who purchased the form to contest. So that shows you. And then in Kaduna State, there are women that have made efforts. In fact, from the primaries conducted yesterday, the majority leader, who is a woman, Munirat, she also returned in the primaries. There are women who have made efforts. I can't really name some of them, but I can agree with you to a certain extent. We don't have the number we usually get. And what I can really pin down to the reason for this is that, when you talk about consensus and direct primaries, it becomes another different mode type of election. And then unless you have your readily, you're ready. You have to be really ready to go into such kind of, because consensus, number one, you have to know the stakeholders. You have to have a good rapport with the stakeholders for you to be selected as the consensus candidate. I guess maybe that scared the women, I don't know. But it's open, and the women have the right to contest. But I know Governor Obasani has also done some appointments and nominated, pushed women further, also continuing from where Malam Erufai stopped. I think he continued on that. Even in KAJURU local government, just recently, a woman, Honorable Esther, was appointed as managing director of one of the agencies, which we're very happy about. So I think there's a lot going on for women. Except maybe they just thought it's going to be a very, very, like he said, chaotic, and then it's going to be really, really competitive, and then they decided to stay back and watch. And then you can see what is happening. So imagine a woman is in the race.
Right.
And with all this, consensus, no consensus, election held, election didn't hold, I'm sure. And then also you would agree with me that the time was so short. We had the time to prepare, but the atmosphere wasn't gingered until the very last moment.
Right.
Started selling form. There was no time from selling form to the primaries. So all these things, I think, contributed. Yes.
All right, we'll go on a short commercial break, and when we get back, you'll get to speak with Honorable CAFRA KAINO. Before we go, I'll quickly call out those numbers by which you can reach us once we get back, and those numbers are 081 40989 and 07087 800 989. Once again, that's 081 40989 and 070 800 989. Stay with us. The program is spot on right here on Invicta 98.9. We'll be right back after this break.
At Prashal Express and Logistics Limited, we offer courier services where we deliver packages of all sizes, documents, goods, and various forms of haulages to every part of the country from Kaduna. You can contact us at Shop FF18 Starcade Shopping Complex, Sabon Tesha, Kaduna, or S20 Zara House, Wandu Road, opposite Disney Chicken, Hamadu Bello Way, Kaduna. Our phone numbers are 0706 210 6674, 0913 775 4873, 0913 776 7475. Our website is www.prashalgroup.com. Prashal Express and Logistics Limited. Be rest assured.
Hey, boss, don't fool me. Music they jam. Person they holler for change, but driver no send because that change got sweet. It gets one important corner kick. Your hair don't almost ready. Now in Baba stop work because your hair feel wait. Go on enter for inside last minute.
Yes, sir. Everything fit wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026 don't show from June 11 to July 19. Catch all 104 matches plus pigeon commentary on top 4 correct channels. Touchlight the FIFA World Cup live on Super Sport from as low as 5,800 naira per month on Go TV. Go TV. Love it.
Wani abin haushi ya rikide ya zama abin burgewa a gare ni. Sai gumin da yake kaiwa da kawowa cewa ina nake samun kuɗin da nake shiga shagunan sayar da kayan gyaran fata da inganta lafiya. Ya tsama ni, jikina baya nuna shekaruna, babu alamun gajiyawa a jikina. Gashi kullum a cikin kumari da ƙoshin lafiya nake. Tsarin bada tazara shine babban shagona. Bada tazarar haihuwa ya taimake ni wajen inganta lafiya da kumarina. Bada tazarar haihuwa ya kyautata halittata, ya inganta halittar jikina akan shekaruna. Tsarin bada tazara yana sa jikin iyaye mata ya huta daga ɗawainiyar haihuwa da shayarwa, wanda hakan yake sa uwa ta watsake cikin ƙoshin lafiya.
Tsarin bada tazarar haihuwa yana inganta lafiyar mata tare da ba su damar murmurewa sosai. Ziyarci cibiyar lafiya mafi kusa domin farawa ko a kira lambar waya 222 wannan sako ne daga ma'aikatar lafiya tare da tallafin gamayyar kungiyoyin Pronet da FEM.
Kyautuwar iyali uba ƴaƴa da ma'uwa.
Omo bills dey choke. No wahala. With Bill Station, you pay sharp sharp. Light, data, transfer, one app, no stress, fast, secure, anytime. Bill Station, where your money dey work.
A koda yaushe yara na suna kokarin koyon karatu. Guje-guje cikin wasa na rage musu kuzari. Yasa kullum bana rabuwa da Milo a gida.
Ni da mai gidana mun dace da zaɓi mai kyau. Ina godiya da farin ciki kasancewar Milo an yi shi daga sinadari masu inganci kamar su dawa, madara da koko. Shi yasa na tabbatar da yanda yake inganta lafiyar yarana tare da basu kuzari da safe.
Nigeria has gone digital. Don't get left behind. Join millions already enjoying the benefits of digital television. With free TV, you get over 100 crystal clear channels for movies, sports, and news. All with zero monthly subscription. Just use any free-to-air decoder. Point your dish to Nigecomsat or stream live on the Free TV NG mobile app. This message is from the National Broadcasting Commission. Don't wait for your signal to go off. Switch to digital TV today.
Follow all the action as all the whole football league they end. Who go win the title for Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A live only for Super Sport on Top Go TV. Reconnect today. Go TV. Love it.
Mai gida, zo ka ji yadda jaririn ke motsi a cikina.
In ji? Lallai, da alama wannan na da ƙarfi sosai.
Mana, da wa kake gani zai yi kama?
Da ni mana.
A'a, da ni wannan zai yi kama.
To wanda zai zo bayan wannan zai yi kama da ke.
Tabɗi, to har yaushe zan jira wancan ya zo?
Kamar shekara 2 haka.
Kaga a lokacin na samu ƙwarin jiki.
Tattaunawa tsakanin ma'aurata yana da muhimmanci. Mu tattauna.
Sallah ta gabato shagungula sun kankama.
More bikin sallar ka da samun garaɓasa daga kamfanin Itel.
Samu samfurin wayar salula ta Itel City 200 akan farashin 139,900.
Har ila yau zaka samu Itel A200 Plus akan farashin 129,900 tare da samun sauƙin 5,000 a kowane siye.
Garaɓasar za ta fara ne daga 15 ga watan Mayu zuwa 15 ga watan Yuni. Gaggauta domin samun naka. Itel more rayuwa ta jin daɗi.
Akwai abun da nake tunani, abubuwa za su canja. Hiron ta yana gaban ka. Saya hero on ta mashin. Yana da kyau. Hero on ta mashin. Baya sa kashe kudi, baya shan mai. Hero on ta mashin. Yana da gudu sosai. Hero on ta mashin.
Samu damar ƙara tattala manka tare da adana kuɗaɗenka tare da sabbin nau'ikan Hero Hunter Kickstart Alloy da aka sabunta. Yanzu ana samun su a gurin dillalai mafi kusa da ku. Ƙarin tazarar tafiya, sauƙin kashe kuɗi. Domin ƙarin bayani sai a tuntuɓi 0800 080 080 800.
All right, welcome back from that commercial timeout. Still with Honorable Dr. CAFRA KAINO in the studio. I've been talking about the fallout from the APC primaries and its impact on the 2027 general elections. It's time for us to go to your calls right now, and the numbers have not changed. The numbers are 081 40989 and 070 87 800 989. Remember to please step away from your radio set so that we don't have feedback. All right, I go to taking your calls right now. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening and welcome. Please, could you speak up?
Oh. My name is Rita.
All right, you're welcome, Rita. Go ahead, please.
Tell you people that hey, I've been telling you that you see more of us. This Roforofo is just one one. That Roforofo is coming along the road. So thank you.
All right. And Roforofo, Rita says the Roforofo has just started. Well, it is something that we remain to see. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Jacquelyne and Bally, my brother.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Also to Dr. CAFRA.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Shaman calling.
Shaman, go ahead, please.
Honestly speaking, let us call a spade a spade. What transpired during primary or local government election in Kaduna State, when local government election was conducted, there was no election, and we saw results flying in the state. It's the same thing that is playing out during the primaries. So I want to ask KAINO a question. She was in the look of things when local government election was not conducted, and APC produced or appointed chairman and local councillors into local government. They are the same local government chairman and councillors that were given appointment are the one that conducted themselves again and appointed primary candidates that he, Dr. CAFRA, is trying today. Was you not aware of what happened in local government election? Then what try is he making now? If they got it right, then local government election, then they got it right, then the primary election. Good evening.
And good evening. I don't know if Honorable is a part of the election committee or INEC or something, but CCOM, sorry. All right, so okay, well, fair enough. Let's go. I hope you're noting this, Honorable. We'll be right with you to answer these questions, but let me take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
My name is Chief Adel.
Chief, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you see, in the Nigeria
election has become a matter of do and die, or life and death. You see, at elections within the same family, what about if it now comes to the general election? What will happen? They say charity begins at home. That is to say, we cannot trust our electoral system. The electoral officers have not been able to conduct the election within APC. And what about if the whole political party now gather to have a political party? You see, the APC primaries, in my own opinion, was a coronation. It was a coronation of, you can call it selection. They know the people who are going to win the election. That is why I am saying that I should think I don't know whether we are dancing on the razor edge when it comes to a democratic process in our country, Nigeria. And I'm quite sure that Abraham Lincoln will be crying in his grave by the time he now look at what is happening in our electoral system in Nigeria. God bless our country, Nigeria.
And thank you so much, Chief Arewo. Still taking calls this evening. Honorable is taking note of all your submissions. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Duke, my brother, and Bally and the Honorable.
Emmanuel, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
You see, the way we see the primary, not only in Kaduna State, across the 36 states of APC, is just rather unfortunate. I want to ask, I hope this is not what we are going to get coming 2027. Because you see, right now, our system of democracy we are even running alone is not palatable to majority of Nigeria. That's the truth. They have been doing their wuru. They choose chairman according to the party, that time, all like that. So we are all with it. But you see, general election, and to just give us free and fair election, we discover that in Nigeria system of democracy is always court that always decides the true winner of election, especially the presidential and the governorship election. Almost every election, they are the one that will be the final, that will make the final decision to declare the that's why they will tell you just go to court. The kind of primary, the kind of thing, and that's why they make it primary. Some people have already choose, like some governments have already see people, some of the candidates that are preferred candidates. I see that they will be the one to carry out the duty. Is it that it's supposed to be? But this thing is out of corruption. And this is not allowable in our democratic system. So I've done something, especially the general election. It should not be like this. So, if not, we are not going to take it. Good night.
All right, and thank you for your submissions this evening. I'll take one more before we come back to, okay, and that call got cut off. Let me come back to you, Honorable. See if you can just quickly answer those who have submitted thus far, and then I'll go back to the phone lines.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'll try to be very brief. Like Sheman spoke about the local government elections. He said people were imposed and all that. Well, I stand here to say, for me, I think what we're talking about, he said I was crying. I was crying about the conduct of the primaries. What we're talking about here isn't, it's about my right to vote, you know. In the local government elections that held about more than a year back, I can tell you confidently that I got to vote. In my ward, in Maru, in KAJURU local government, I got to vote. So wherever he's claiming, he's alleging, I don't know about that, but I got to vote. But in these primaries that we just conducted, what I'm saying is I didn't even see the electoral materials. I didn't get to vote. So that is my argument. So at least let me get to vote. If you're going to announce a different result, fine, but let me get to vote. You can't take my right away from me. You have to let me, you know, exercise my own duty as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, Mr. Sherman, I hope that answers that. And then the second speaker spoke about the election itself. He said, if these elections are conducted this way, what do you expect? Well, INEC is conducting the general elections. So just because you think one or two things didn't go down well here, this is an internal problem, it's an internal party affair. So I want to believe that INEC will do the right thing and will conduct a free and credible election. But then if they don't, you have your own ways that you can always voice out. And that is why we encourage people to join a lot of civil society organizations so that they can talk about things that are not right. You know, join them and speak up whenever there's something that doesn't goes right, how it should be. And then Emmanuel lastly talked about rigging the election, the way the things are going. I hope this is not what is coming in the general election. Mr. Emmanuel, let me just tell you people something. I need listeners to hear this. Rigging is not as easy as you think. And why most politicians get to rig some elections is because a large percentage of Nigerians don't vote. Imagine a country of over 200 million, over 230 million, and we have over 80 million registered voters. But when it's time to cast votes for in an election, you only get about 20 million plus casting votes. Only 20 million plus. What happens to the other 60 million people? Where are they? So once you get a large turnout of voters, it becomes very difficult. A large turnout of voters deter electoral rigging. It becomes very difficult to rig because one cannot be having, say, 200,000 votes, and then somebody is having 20,000 votes, and then you turn it upside down. It's very difficult. It's not obtainable. But because most of us don't vote, on voting day we sleep in our houses, we say government is not doing anything, so we won't go out and vote. And that is where we make the problems continue. We complicate the matters. But when you feel this person, my representative, is not enough, is not doing enough, come out, exercise your vote, stay, vote, and ensure that your vote is counted. If we do this, we're going to change the trajectory. We're going to change all the stories, the narrations. Things are going to change. So I encourage all Nigerians to register. Right now, the registration is going on. Get registered. And then next year, if you feel there's any member, any of your officials, public officials that you need to change, you're not okay, go cast your vote and take him out. And that is my advice.
All right. We'll go back to the phone lines. We still have a few more minutes before we call it a day. The numbers are still 081 40989 and 07087 800 989. Still taking your calls this evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Please, could you speak up?
Good evening.
All right, go ahead. You're
Can
welcome.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you better now. Go ahead, please.
My name is Adebija Ango. I'm telling you from here in Kaduna.
Okay, you're welcome.
Well, I want to thank your guest for speaking for himself because he said he got to vote during the local government election. But it is a fact that there was no local government election that was conducted here in Kaduna. He knows it. So I think he should be very truthful and tell people the truth.
He said he voted. He said he voted in his ward.
Must do what is right. This electoral apathy is because people are not trusting even the electoral people. I make to say that in our own election in 2023, here in Western constituency, after the elections, our results were denied of. I don't know, ask your guest, what is the position of the military during the election? As a people here in the military constituency, after every election, they will go and bring the military and barricade the collection center and stop people from accessing the collection center. This is a civic responsibility which should be handled by civilians, either by the police, but the military will come and they will make sure they deal with the civilians. I will let government to take note of that and the electoral body to also take note of it. Thank you.
And thank you very much. I hope you got his perspective there.
I think so.
All right, still taking your calls this evening. We'll take two more before we have to go. Hello, good evening. Good evening, we're connected.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, you're welcome. Please, could you speak up?
John to Sebastian from Maraba Radio.
All right, go ahead, please.
Okay, want to thank your guest for his explanation. My question is, how far have they gone on making policies on this situation? After we voted the person, then the person will just say, don't leave the party to go to another party. How far have they made any law for it? Because many of us are losing hope that our vote may not count. Because we want to vote and make sure that our vote is counted. We had to watch the lecturer or somebody's state speaking very well.
But how sure are we that this is going to be counted so that we will continue to educate other people who are tired of voting? Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you too. All right, thank you too. We'll take one more call and then we'll come back to our guest. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
You're welcome, Jacquelyne.
I didn't catch your name.
Submission is this.
I didn't catch your name, please.
Hello?
I didn't catch your name.
Sorry, tell me.
Your name, please.
Hello, my name is Joshua.
All right, you're welcome. Go ahead. I think you're a little bit close to your radio.
And it's a question.
Okay.
Yes. In all this, where is the place of the citizen? Because what I see that is happening in the primary election that APC is doing, being themselves, there is no democracy. So with this, it's not giving us a picture of what may likely happen in the general election. So my question to you is, where is the place of the citizen? Is the citizen partakers of this consensus? And how comes about the consensus? I think a democracy should be a freedom of the citizens to go out and cast them for who they want. Not some few people to sit and discuss and decide this is the person we want. So to me, I'm looking at it more like imposing someone on the citizen. Where is the place of the citizen?
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
And good evening to you too. Our last call this evening will be coming shortly. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my sister.
You're welcome. You only have 30 seconds. Please go ahead quickly.
My name is Usman.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, my dear. You understand? In a situation whereby APC is taking APC, is right. You understand? But I think for him, you don't need to worry because he's supposed to know what is going on. Because those candidates that they said they've won the elections are already being handpicked from the above. So why worry? You don't need to worry because you know the place. It's a member. You understand me? So why worry? He's just crying, maybe he need that to compensate them.
Unfortunately, Usman, we cannot hear you. Your line is not as clear as I would have wanted it to be. Let's see if we can take another call. Hello, good evening. I couldn't hear you, Usman. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead, please.
My name is Michael. I'm calling from the
All right, go ahead quickly. You have 30 seconds, Michael.
Ask this honorable, what is it to me in respect to the insecurity in Maro? He just said it's for Maro now. What is it about that? Thank you.
All right. And thank you to talking about insecurity in Maro. All right. I come back to you, Honorable. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. I think the first caller, Zephania Hans or something like that, talked about army, always bringing army to the collision center. I would like to refer you back to 2011 post-election crisis.
In Ekiti?
No, in all over, in
Okay,
Kaduna State,
27,
especially. Let me use Kaduna State as a context. Post-election violence, yes. If you remember, after the election, there were some, it got chaotic. There were crises in most parts of Kaduna State. There were burnings. There were, I think no life was lost. But then there was a lot of houses were burnt of either this person belongs to this party or that party. So these are some of these measures are being taken to safeguard the electoral process, to ensure that it doesn't get to that stage. But one thing you agree with me is that for most securities that have been stationed in these coalition centers do not carry arms. They do not bear arms. If you say, why are security around the coalition center, then I also ask, why are also security escorting the electoral materials? Why do they go to polling units? You know how we are. If security is not there, some people come and take advantage. They'll come and rig the election.
Right.
You remember back then we used to have this scenario whereby people cut away electoral box.
Right.
You take the electoral box and run with the electoral box. Go and fill thumbprint and put whatever they want, and then take it straight to the coalition center and register it. That's why we have security. It's for your own good. It's to safeguard your results. What you voted, they guide it and ensure that it is being announced. Then the second person talked about changing parties, where we are with that. I think the amended Electoral Act stipulates that once you contest for any purchase a nomination form for any seat after the primaries, you cannot go to another party and contest. It happens in the last election, even though it was even still in the constitution the last election. But I don't know how the magic they did. Some of them
were able
to, you know,
like
it happened.
former Senate President, I'm a lawyer.
And who again?
And is it okay? The current Senate President.
Good.
Gospel Apparel.
Yes. I didn't want to call any name, but you helped me out. But
Yes.
even in my own,
even Rocha said he didn't know the kind of magic that he will come to, that they will teach him the magic that they use in going to the Senate. When they contested for the presidential election.
After they've contravened the constitution of the Federal Republic of this is it.
Yes.
Me, I'm a Democrat, so I say it as it is. It doesn't matter what party I belong to. I want Nigeria to be fixed. I want Nigeria to be right. So I think right now it's more serious now about changing parties. And I think they're going to be more serious about it this time, unlike other times. Even Ekene, when we contested, we're in the primaries together. Yeah. He came third in the primaries. Yes. But after the primaries, he moved to Labour and then won his seat in the Labour.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a poser.
But I was so happy.
Yes.
That because I've seen the work he did, and I was so proud of him.
He is a poser. Honorable Kingsley Chinda, the minority leader in the House of Reps, who has picked the ticket favored by Wike. He picked the Rivers State governorship ticket. He is minority leader under PDP, and there hasn't been any time that he defected, or his defection was announced at the floor
of the House,
required by the law.
Yes, that is
but
how it
now
should be.
he has picked the ticket of the PDP for the governorship.
So you see,
So
that says it is open to litigation.
Right.
It is open to litigation. It's something that can be challenged in a court of law, competent court of law. So these are some of the things that I will try to tell people: be careful. When you act now, you don't know the repercussion or how it's going to get back. And then Joshua talked about place of citizens, about the consensus. Consensus for us, whatever is happening now, is an internal party affair. We're going to fix it. And that's why we have room for redress. And that's why we have an appeal committee. We've written to appeal committee on most of these cases. We're waiting to hear what they have to say, what solutions they have to give us before we know what to do next. So it's an internal problem. Don't worry, whatever is happening now, I'm not sure we'll go to the general election. But what is your place as a citizen? What are you doing about it? If you feel the politicians are doing things that doesn't sit right with you, I question to Nigerian citizens is, what are you doing about it? Do you just sit and watch and let it happen? My Bible will tell me that, shall we continue to sin so that grace may abound? Of course, no. So get your act together, citizens of Nigeria. There is always something we can do about it. So this is it. And then I think once we know what we want, citizens, what we want from our leaders, once we know how to hold our leaders accountable, I think we'll get it right. It's because Nigerians don't talk. The citizens don't talk. I can tell you that confidently. And then Michael was talking about security in Maru. So I don't know what he wants me to say about security in Maru. I'm not the local government chairman. I'm not a councillor in Maru. But Michael, if you want me to tell you what I've been doing for security in Maru as a citizen, yes. I'm sorry, I'm a security strategist. I'm sorry, I can't say it on air. But if you have a means to reach me, I'll tell you my own contribution. Because saying it on radio will be empowering the bandits. They know where we're coming from. Right. So except if you want me to give bandits information on what we're doing. Is that what you want, Michael? Obviously, it's not. I don't think it's what I want. So, Maro people, some of them will tell you my own contribution to security. And even while I was the executive chairman, Maro was a no-go area. Go and ask anybody, it was a no-go area. The strategies we've been trying to share with some people, they're not working on it. This thing can be solved. These things, they have solutions. They have solutions. I'm not accusing anybody, but there are solutions to these things. We're giving them some kind of things, steps they can take and see how these security things can be, cope. But I don't know. I don't want to go too deep. I don't know. I got frustrated at a point. I got tired at a point. I said, can we continue? How long are we going to continue this? I got frustrated. You know what is happening in Maro. There's hardly, now it's at least better, but at a point this year, first quarter of this year, we hardly go 3-4 days without something happening. I lost a lot of relatives in this. In fact, my village now is now prone to attacks. So I think Nigerians just speak up. Speak up.
Yeah, Jackie,
And
I'll
with
give
that,
the last update.
we round up.
Kaduna State Governor Senator Obasani, today, this afternoon, was affirmed as the sole candidate for the governorship election in Kaduna with a vote of 459,393 votes, affirming 459,393
almost half a million
votes,
almost half a million,
affirming him as the governor. And of course, here is this proviso, or here is this underlining that the primary election was monitored by the officials of INEC. Yes,
it was monitored.
Yes, by the officials of
by
INEC.
the officials of INEC.
Now here is
congratulations to
the
His Excellency.
We have to go though. We have to
There's
go.
a landmark judgment today from Federal High Court, Abuja. You know, based on the INEC timeline, primary election is supposed to end by May 30th. Is that?
Yes.
So the suit filed by Youth Party, the judgment said political parties have the right to fill in candidates 160 days to election date, and 90 days for substitution to election for them to substitute their own candidate. So this landmark judgment may change the election timetable as it is. Instead of May ending, May 30th, for candidates to, or for parties to conclude primary election, now it may take up to August 10, based on this judgment. Yes, 160 days to election, and of course the election date is February 17.
And with that update, I mean, the updates will continue to come. Every day we wake up, there's going to be new updates. We'll keep trying our best to bring them to you every Thursday. I would like to thank you, Honorable Dr. CAFRA KAINO, for being here with us.
It's my pleasure.
And we're hoping that we will continue to get updates too. I mean, if there's need, you come back where our platform is open. We really would like to get Nigeria to be a place where everyone has a voice and not just a select few. To the Namasaning Invicta, that you always bring us the news fresh and breaking. Thank you too.
A pleasure as always.
Until next Thursday, when we hope to bring you even more of conversations that around the country that we all call home. Continue these conversations. Let's find how we as citizens can do better come 2027. Until then, remain victorious and stay with Invicta 98.9 FM.
Europa League final, May 16. Conference League final for May 27. Champions League final for May 30. Hey! All the finals live only for SuperSport on Top Go TV.
From as low as 5,800 naira per month.
Reconnect today. Go TV. Love it.
Kai, Lami, yau na yi kewar girkin ki sosai.
Me gida. Ni ma na yi kewar naka. Ka tuna lokacin da nake da ciki kai ne kake dafa mana abinci?
Shi yasa nake son ki sake, don na ci gaba da miki girki.
A'a, jikina na buƙatar hutu. Akalla shekaru 3.
Uku kuma, ai wata 6 makin murmure.
To ka fara, zan sauko zuwa shekaru 2 da wata 6.
Mu dai ce shekaru 2.
Amma ka tabbata ka cika alƙawari fa.
To shikenan na amince. Tattaunawa tsakanin ma'aurata yana da muhimmanci. Mu tattauna.
Mama, sai kin gan yadda na wanke ban ɗakin nan. Yawon ku sosai fa.
Tabbas zai iya wankuwa sosai a ido. Amma idan ba da hypo toilet cleaner kika yi amfani ba wajen kariya, to ban ɗaki cike yake da ƙwayoyin cuta baja-baja.
Haka ne, gara ku yarje wa ƙwayoyin cuta, ku kare ban ɗakin ku kullum da hypo toilet cleaner.
OneXBet, where sports come alive. Join the game and promo on the site or app. Win an iPhone 16 and cash prizes up to 750,000 naira. Enter promo code Nigeria on and boost your game. OneXBet, game on together in the game. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
Sweet Gadu. On top Gadagi. Gidiga.
The time is 9 o'clock.
Girl, you get the pom pom shade. You can know how I want the pom pom shade. Oh, I need you like I need you. Oh no no. Oh, show a body down and come my lover. Make a dirty you well with my love. La la la. I say open my bed, listen, baby come on, good sin, no be passing, good sin, no be passing, good sin, alhamdulillah, baby listen, good sin, baby come on, good sin. She bringing out dirt on my clean bed. Do you see the irony? She is so funny. Lady on my right, feeling all nice. So she gon' die. She fainting when you come online. She misses my eyes. Slowly at the top. Money on my mind. Don't care what they yarning about me in particular. Call me. Out here on the road chasing my dream because I know chasing for me. The mango malo, but I got the edition malo. If you want to let Jack come alone, if you find anybody, no money I want. Not the year with the people they love. Want to get a Jacquelyne love. It's a love when I want to get another one. I go take and do it in I love. Waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go do it with all my heart, oh. Go no be vodka. Mr. Money Ginger. But I know the ways that Mr. Money Ginger. Just carry on, if you no time. Bad boy day, me I day fine. And at the same time, me I day high. Motrotomo stand out, calm down, you go day fine. Like fine wine, no decline. Sick about it, extraordinary things. Show me love, I go show you more. Obo I'ma eat don't take ya. She kill him, move for fire. Lola the mango malo, but I got the edition malo. If you want to let Jack come alone, if you find anybody, no money I want. But they hear what you people they know. Yeah. Try what you not do if you're not the fair. My mind they tell me to disappear. So come and help me, cause I don't pray. My man, I don't pray. Come on, man, I can't stay for one place. For God's sake, my day. Take my pain away from you. They are talking shit, what them no get enemy. Till you fall for what's a minute. I put up my eyes, that's shot, my right, that's good.